Everybody evacuating from the coast, but they're just taking their chances. Something I would not do as this storm approaches, even in its weakened state. Yeah, this is a weaker hurricane than it was 24 hours ago. Still looks pretty impressive on the satellite perspective here. This is a Category 2 storm. Some new storms firing up right around the center of circulation, so it's still capable of producing absolutely torrential rain and very strong winds. Even a Category 2 storm has 110-mile-an-hour winds at the moment. Going to maintain that strength, slow down, and turn to the left as it approaches landfall. Looks like it's going to make landfall by sunrise tomorrow morning. That's the most likely time frame. Now, that's a little bit earlier than we were talking about yesterday because the storm path has been adjusted back to the north. Talked about why just a couple of minutes ago, but that northward movement means it's just going to encounter the coast earlier. The speed hasn't changed, just the shape of the coastline means it's going to run into land a bit faster. That northward path also brings the center of circulation awfully close to central North Carolina. The center of the storm really isn't the major concern. It's the fact that we're on the right side of the path as it moves forward. That's where the tornado threat develops, and we're going to be watching the radar very carefully over the next couple of days. It's also where the threat of flooding is most significant. So let's switch over to Futurecast, and we're going to track where the rain goes as we head through the next couple of days. And you can see it weakening to a tropical storm and a tropical depression as it moves farther to the west. Here is Futurecast's version of what the radar will look like with the satellite perspective as well. Some of the outer rain band showers are going to be moving in already today. Real hit and miss stuff. This isn't the rain you need to be worried about, but it's just the harbinger of things to come with that heavy rain moving towards the coast by this afternoon. Very windy conditions along the coast, and it's going to be getting breezy in central North Carolina progressively throughout the day. The strongest winds will move in tonight and stick around tomorrow and even into Saturday. Storm itself making landfall again by early tomorrow morning. But that heaviest rain is just going to be approaching our southeastern counties around midnight tonight. That's going to be moving in overnight with some of those outer bands becoming heavier as we head into the pre-sunrise hours tomorrow. And then the rain just comes at us in waves. And eventually that wave becomes a surge of heavy rainfall that just inundates our southern counties from the triangle southward. That's the area with the greatest flooding concern because that's where it's going to rain more heavily. It's where it's going to rain for a longer period of time. Very few breaks in between those heavy rain showers associated with this tropical system. And that continues into tomorrow evening as well, probably even into the first half of the weekend as the storm slowly slides farther and farther to the west. We'll switch over to the rainfall amounts using the same forecast model that I just showed you, the radar simulation. So this is just the computer chewing on the data, adding up the rain as we go through. Our data runs out at 2 o'clock on Saturday morning, and by that point, here are the numbers that computer is estimating. Between 1 inch and 2 of rain for the triangle, we can handle that. That could cause some localized flooding problems in urban areas. It's always a concern, but this is just way too much rain already for the Sandhills and the coastal plain, and already too much rain in Harnett County and Johnston County as well. Different forecast model, just got some new data in. This takes us all the way through Sunday evening. It has just a very slightly northward jog to the forecast path, even compared to where it is right now, and that brings between 6 and 10 inches of rain to the triangle, with heavier amounts even within the triangle, and you see we approach a foot of rain to the south and east of the triangle. This would cause significant flooding, even catastrophic flooding. That's the main concern, especially for the coastal plain and for the Sandhills as well. We kind of polish all the numbers together and issue the watches based on that. The National Weather Service has posted the flash flood watch in effect from the triangle southward. So Wake County is included within this. But even within Wake County, the rainfall amounts are going to get heavier every mile that you go farther and farther south within specific counties, within central North Carolina as a whole, within the state as a whole. Those heavier amounts are going to be farther and farther to the south. So in these green shaded counties, and even if you live anywhere else, if you live in a flood-prone spot and you know you live in the floodplain, you need to make plans right now, if you haven't already, to ride this storm out somewhere else because the flooding is going to be a major concern. The wind is also going to be a concern as it moves through, but really it's the heavy rainfall amounts that are going to be of chief kind of concern and problematic as we go into the first half of the weekend with some off-and-on showers and thunderstorms lingering even on Sunday. Possibly Monday and Tuesday of next week is what's left of Florence because it does a little loop-de-loop around us. By the middle of next week, finally, we completely dry out. But in the next few days, we're going to have to watch that rain threat approaching from the southeast, along with Florence.
Yep, and along with that rain threat, we also have the threat for winds. So
right.
I want to get into that right now, show you kind of your chance to see tropical storm force winds and also the chance to see hurricane force winds in our area. So what you're looking at here is the chance to see 40-mile-per-hour winds in your area, and that is tropical storm force. So notice along the coast, of course, it's 100%. That's where the hurricane will make landfall. Now, as you get into the Sandhills, basically also 100% chance you are going to see those tropical storm force winds. Then as you get into the triangle, still a very, very high chance you'll see those tropical storm force wind gusts. As you head north and west away, the chance lowers, but it's still above a 50-50 chance. Now, you may be wondering if you'll see hurricane force wind gusts in your neighborhood, and that chance is a lot lower, especially in the triangle and as you head away from the triangle north and west. But in the Sandhills, we still have at least a 25 to 30% chance that we will see hurricane force wind gusts, and that's why we've been talking about a higher chance to see power outages in that area. So we are going to have to watch for that, and this is the chance to see those hurricane force wind gusts through Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning. Russ?